What up YouTube, this is Stealth R1, and as you guys well may know, I ended up coming across and adapting the X-Maxx Power Up 8S upgrade kit for the X-Maxx. So let's just rewind and give you what initially I've done, and we'll talk about what's initially transpiring right now. So I ended up doing the Power Up update with the X-Maxx, with the Traxxas batteries, the 8S setup. Totally, all Traxxas as of right now on this as for the Power Up. As you guys have seen in the prior videos, I've been able to come across and do a few runs with this, which, it definitely woke up the X-Maxx. So let's rewind to yesterday. Yesterday, we had a pretty big snowfall the day before. I ended up taking the truck out, and let me give you the conditions of the way the truck was. So the truck did have dusty motor shroud. My shroud was over here, which keeps a lot of the wetness and everything from hitting any of the components, even though the system is water resistant. That being said, it was around 20 degrees yesterday, so heat was definitely not a factor. All of a sudden, I ended up turning it on. I did one pass, came back, ended up dying. So I said, oh man, this is totally bogus. So I thought maybe it's because my remote had a low power. I said, let me change the battery. So I changed the batteries. It didn't work. So I said, oh, I got to take this thing home. So when I took it home, I ended up taking a few things apart. So I said, you know what? Maybe it's my receiver. So I swapped out the receiver. I still couldn't get any throttle. No throttle this way, no throttle that way. But I still have my servo working. So I said, all right, you know what? Let me change out the controller. So I changed out the controller, and still no throttle, no reverse, but I still had my servo. So I ended up switching from channel 2 to channel 1 because I knew the output was working for the receiver, and I still got nothing. So as of that point, I ended up coming across and said, you know what? I'm going to give it a chance. So I contacted technical support. And technical support told me that they wanted to go over a few things, and I told them exactly what initially has transpired. And I told them the way my indicator lights was coming across on the Traxxas X-Maxx. And the technician said, oh, he's like, you got that? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, you have a critical error from what was said. A critical error on my Traxxas ESC. So I'm like, oh my God, so what are my options? He was like, well, you're going to have to return back the ESC. I was like, well, I have to return back the VXL6S via ESC. He was like, yeah, and you're going to have to return the motor back too, so we need to do a little bit of testing on this. I said, I just got this, dude. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, how can I make this transition a little faster? He was like, oh, that's primarily what needs to be done, which is totally understandable. All companies do that. But that's where I'm at. The X-Maxx is out of commission until I'm able to get my ESC and motor back. Hopefully Traxxas does right and hooks me up with that brand new motor. That would be pretty awesome. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys up to date with what initially transpires with that. So hopefully this video was informative to you. This is out of all people, this happened to me. Now I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments that is gonna say, well, that's what you get for buying a Traxxas product. You know what? To each his own. Another person's probably gonna say, well, that's what happens when you buy something, out the box. You don't know what the kinks are in there. It is what it is. I've been doing it for years, so things happen. So that being said, hopefully we'll get something going on with this, and give me your comments below. Tell me what you think. What do you think about this whole thing that has transpired towards me and my X-Maxx? So, yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, and to my fellas up in YouTube. Later.